Raven. I am intelligent and creative. I am bold and determined. I rely on teamwork, and I am accountable. I am a competitor who will defend my territory.
Hello, everyone, and welcome inside Tag Park here in the nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario. Jeffrey Morris alongside myself, Tristan Ford. Thanks so much for joining us for Week 2 action of OUA football, where the Windsor Lancers have made the trip up the 401 to take on the Carleton Ravens. Windsor's coming into this game energized and confident after a spectacular open week win against the Queen's Gales. Carleton, on the other hand, looking to defend their home field and prevent from going 0-2 to start the season after a Week 1 loss to the Guelph Griffins. And for the Ravens, this game, personal. They've had this game marked on their calendars all summer after a devastating loss to Windsor in the playoffs last season. And huge news here to start this game, Elijah Barnes stepping up as QB1 for the Ravens today after veteran QB Tristan Lefebvre suffered an injury to his shoulder in Week 1. Question, Jeff, what is going through the mind of a young quarterback like Barnes today ahead of getting his first OUA start?
I think he's pretty cool and calm and collected. He's a veteran. He's been around. He's had a lot of playing time. And I don't think it's a matter of nerves. I think it's a matter of this is my chance. And you know, he had a great summer playing with the Team Canada U19 team. He got a lot of experience there. And I think that'll really show, and he'll have a lot of poise. He's a great runner. He's a great athlete. He throws the ball well. He did very well when he came in last week after Lefebvre was hurt. I think he's going to do very well today.
And a star-studded Windsor defense coming off an excellent Week 1 performance, especially in the fourth quarter where they held off Alex Vreeken and the Queen's Gales to secure the win. 5 of the starters on this Windsor defense are from the states, which highlights Windsor's recruiting efforts down south and also illustrates the growth of the Canadian game and the important role it plays in providing another post-secondary option for these talented guys coming out of the USA.
And that's the thing. Carleton has done some recruiting in the U.S. as well. And what you have to remember is if you're a player in the U.S. and you get a partial scholarship, you may still end up paying $20,000 to $25,000 a year for your tuition, whereas you can come up here without any financial aid. A lot of these players are getting it, and it's a cheaper option. You're playing just as good football, especially if you come to Carleton, Ottawa. You get to play in the Panda game. So more and more American kids, you're seeing that all over the country are looking at USports as an option because they're seeing USports kids getting opportunities in the NFL, and it's a great brand of football.
And Carleton running back last week, Matt Moran, had a career performance in Week 1, rushing for 114 yards. Jeff, how important is it going to be for the Ravens to have their rush game working today against this Windsor defense?
Windsor's very strong in the box. They're strong in the middle. They have great linebackers. They're very strong inside. Getting that running game established is extremely important. When you looked at last year at the beginning of the year, they were having, I mean, it was easier to get Taylor Swift tickets than it was to get yards for the Ravens offense.
And we're going to go to a quick commercial here as we listen to the national anthem, and we'll be back in just a few seconds. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Ravens football on OUA TV.
This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
And welcome back to Tag Park here in the nation's capital, Ottawa, Ontario. We are about to get set for the Carleton Ravens home opener. A rainy day here. It's Saturday, just before 4 p.m. And getting a lot of rain here, Jeff. What's this like for these players playing in conditions like this? Does it make any difference? Does it not?
It does. I mean, it doesn't make as much a difference as it did back in the day when we were playing on grass and mud. But the turf is going to be slick. The ball is going to be slick. This is a surprise as much as anything to the players because the Weather Channel was calling for no rain right through till tonight. So it will be challenging, and the ball will be slippery.
And as we get set for the coin toss here, important to list off our referees. Now introducing the officials for today's match. Referee Scott Valberg, umpire Andre Papineau, down judge Callum McLeod, line judge Mark Burrell, side judge Chris Venter, back judge Justin Andrews, and field judge Craig Pierce. And Jeff, as an official yourself, I'm sure you know a lot of these gentlemen out there today.
Yeah, I've worked with 5 of them, so they're good. They're the, we've got a very strong crew out there, and should be a good game. I mean, best case scenario, you don't notice them.
And I always feel lucky to get to call the game with you here, Jeff, and Old Crow. Also someone who's very, very knowledgeable in the Canadian game, and official yourself. Always helpful to have you here on different rulings and stuff like that. Can't wait to kick off the next Carleton season here, and looking forward to it.
It should be fun. It should be a great year, and Carleton does very well at home. They have a great home record under Coach Corey Grant, so it should be a great game today. And Carleton's very motivated after losing to Windsor in the playoffs last year in a last-second loss.
And also super important to not start this season 0-2, especially when you've got a tough schedule coming up. You've got Windsor here today, and then you've got Western on the road next week. That's a difficult 2-game stretch there. You want to get a win in one of those games, as you really need a 4-4 record to get any type of hope for a playoff push. And
it is a short season. I mean, 0-2 may not matter in the CFL or NFL that much, but after today, 25% of the regular season will be done, and if you're digging yourself in a hole, you've got to come back.
So Windsor going to be kicking this one off. Carleton will be receiving. Little mistake here. They're going to flip sides. We are about set to get underway. Special teams going to be an important part of this game as well for both sides.
That's the one thing that a lot of people don't realize. This is a great special teams battle. You've got Javoni Cunningham for Windsor, the top return man in the country. You've got Carleton has an excellent coverage unit. Carleton's got a very good return team too, so should be a good one.
And the ball is up. And Nash McDonald has it. He's got some room. He gets taken down just at the 25, maybe the 24. So it'll be Carleton ball on the 24-yard line. A small return.
You can see already the officials are arguing over where the ball is to be spotted. The guy on the side had him at the 25 as forward progress, but the inside guy didn't give that to him, so the ball's at the 23.
And here we are. First look at Elijah Barnes. First start. 2 receivers to the right, 3 to the left. Receivers in motion. Handoff. Going to be Matt Morin. He gets swallowed up quickly. A lot of different Lancers in on the tackle.
He got about 3 yards on that play, and maybe 2. And again, that was one of the problems last year. They've got to get better push on first down.
Jason Rashotzi and Trey Ranson in on that tackle. It'll be second down, 7 to go. Ball on the 25, a quick pass. That one received by Frederick Hatchie.
We've got a flag on the play. It's going to be offside against Windsor.
And that'll help out the Ravens. Give them a first down.
It'll be second and about 2 or 3.
Aiden Arnott-Smith coming in for the Ravens. So ball's on the 25-yard line, 2nd down, 2 to go.
Smith coming in because he's an exceptional blocker. He was actually a defensive lineman coming up in youth football and transitioned to fullback.
Barnes, handoff to Morin. Morin gets swallowed up behind the line of scrimmage and going to be a loss.
Again, that Windsor defense really strong in the inside. Carleton's offensive line has to get a better push. Trey Ranson made a great play there. 6 foot, 230-pound psych student from Sykeston, Missouri. He actually played at Lindenwood, Missouri, or Lindenwood University in Missouri before transferring up here.
Joey Sciandra, my apologies, going to boot this one away for the Ravens. So not the opening drive that Barnes and the Ravens were hoping for, and not a great kick either. Here's Javoni Cunningham. He gets taken down. He'll be down at the 40-yard line, Windsor's own 40.
Chandra was very lucky there. He got a good bounce on the wet turf. He got a good skid on it, but got to do a better job punting.
Yeah, just didn't get all of that ball at all. Now a first look at the Windsor offense here. Danny Skelton. Windsor obviously coming off a great first week win over the Queens Gales. Skelton, a handoff, and he'll be brought down for a short gain. Liam Talbot there on the rush.
That was, again, good job by Carleton on the inside, swallowing that run up, because Windsor was able to run the ball extremely well against Queens, and Carleton gave up a lot of yards last week against Guelph.
So no gain on that play. 2nd down, 8 yards to go. Sorry, 2-yard gain. And Danny Skelton to throw. He's got a man. It's Liam Talbot. He's brought down just short of the 50-yard line. So Windsor going to be working from their 49-yard line. 3rd down. That could be good. No, it won't be good for a first down. It'll be 3rd and short. They're going to bring out the special teams, punt this one away. Kasim Ferdinand back to return alongside Ottman Brom for the Ravens. And the punt is off, headed towards Ottman Brom. He's got it, caught on the 28-yard line. He gets brought down on the 30. So a 7-yard return for Ottman Brom.
Not a bad punt in this weather by James Parker. He's a 5th-year student. He was actually playing for Mount Allison the last few years, transferred to Windsor for this season.
And Elijah Barnes back out on the field with the Ravens defense. So 2 3-and-outs here to start for both teams. Not much happening on the rush game for either squad, and no one's been moving it through the air either.
It's a good opportunity for both offenses just to feel that the defenses kind of get a drive in. No first downs yet, but let's see what Carleton can do here.
Ball on the 32-yard line for the Ravens. 1st and 10. Barnes. He's got 2 receivers right, 2 receivers left. Handoff to Morin. And Morin gets brought down for a short gain, a gain of about 5 yards. Tackled by Trey Ranson. Trey Ranson, one of those guys that just makes play after play after play for this Windsor defense.
The Lindenwood Lions is the university team that he played for. I don't know if you remember the 2006 Super Bowl. You're probably not old enough, but there was a player from Lindenwood, a running back named Dee Dorsey that played for the Colts when they won from that school.
Now Barnes, he's got 3 receivers right. He hands it off and gets decked. Matt Moret gets hammered. And some jawing going on between Kalade and Muzan. And I believe that was Ottman Braun.
I don't think these guys like each other.
No, I don't think so. I think there's a lot of bad blood here from that playoff game last season. And now Carleton going to kick this one away. Not able to get a first down there. It's 3rd down, 3rd and 3. Chandra going to boot this one away. A little bit better of a punt this time, but not too much. And that one goes out of bounds at the 36-yard line. They're going to say that sailed out of bounds at the 35. So Danny Skelton and the Windsor Lancers going to get another chance. And we'll see.
Skelton's a 4th-year veteran from Calgary, and he's a threat to run, too. Carleton's got to watch that.
Skelton, a handoff to Chris John. Oh, that one's out. The ball's out. A fake handoff. That was batted away. Isaiah Joseph knocked that one away from Skelton. And that could have been dangerous for the Lancers.
He was in the throwing motion. Andre Papineau, the umpire, right on that play.
And is there a flag down on the field here? There is a flag down. So that's offside on the Windsor offense. So going to be 1st and 15 for the Lancers. Ball's on the 35-yard line. A lot of work to do here for the Lancers on this first down.
7 the quarterback, 36 the running back, 21 still out there in the slot.
Danny Skelton with some work to do to move these sticks. Doesn't want to go 3rd and out again. Hand off to Chris John. He gets eaten up by Chris Toupé. He breaks the tackle. He's still going. Now he's down. Chris Toupé was in on that tackle, as well as Ife Onyeka. Got him.
Xavier Malone in on that play, too, but really strong running by John Toupin, of course, the Ravens tackling leader last year and again last week. But Carleton's got to really make those tackles and not get yards after first contact allowed.
So now 2nd down, 8 yards to go for the Lancers. So 2nd and long here, not really a position that you want to find yourself in all game long. So far, that's all there's been. A handoff to Chris John, and he's going to be short of a first down, and it'll be another 3 and out for the Lancers.
Again, good job by the Ravens. Zone run block there off the RPO, and Windsor Skelton thought it was there, and it wasn't. Carleton sealed up the hole very effectively. That was Brody Burke that made that play for Carleton.
Ferdinand and Brom back to return. This one heading towards Brom. He's got it at the 24-yard line. And he's brought down for a short return, just 2 yards off of that return. Carleton offense going to return to the field after 2 3 and outs. Got to move the sticks at some point here. Both Windsor and Carleton haven't been able to get anything going on the offensive end. 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Ball's going to be on their own 28-yard line.
James Parker made a really good play on that punt, fielding that snap that bounced to him and getting the kick away. It was a low-line drive. Thought maybe he'd get more of a run back for Carleton, but good job by the Windsor coverage team.
So Barnes has 4 receivers to his right. Ben Huckabone is out here. Frederick Hatchie. They go to the pass to Tristan Reddy. Tristan Reddy's got some space and a first down. Brought down there by Devin Veresuk. And Tristan Reddy with his first reception of the game and the first down for the Ravens.
Good job reading the seam by Reddy there, and we've got a hurry-up offense now for the Ravens.
Barnes, hand off to Morin. Morin gets eaten up. Nothing given on this rush for the Ravens. Forward motion stopped. So they're going to call him down, and we'll see if this is a loss of yards here. Definitely no gain on that play.
Once again, the Ravens trying that inside zone run on this Windsor defense, and Windsor just swallowed them up and puts Carleton into a passing down. Windsor dropped back into a zone last play. Let's see if they do that again.
2nd and 10 for the Ravens. Ball on their own 49. 3 receivers to the right, 3 receivers to the left. Barnes, a quick out. He's got a man. It's Kasim Ferdinand. He's got a little bit of space but gets taken down short of a first down. There's going to be a flag on the far side of the field. It looks like it's a face mask on the Windsor Lancers. We will see what the call is.
Yeah, it looks like a face mask, and that'll move the Ravens up 15 yards and put them in good position to open the scoring in this game.
And this is kind of a break there that the Ravens needed after it's been tough to get their offense going. They finally got a first down a few plays ago, and now they are across half for the first time in striking territory here. Elijah Barnes, will see what he can do on this drive. He's got 3 receivers to the right, 2 to the left. Matt Morin back. 6 in the box for the Windsor defense. A pass out to Ferdinand, and he gets eaten up. That's going to be a short game of maybe 3 or 4 on that play, and it'll be 2nd and about 6 or 7.
He actually got 7 or 8 on that play. So we got a 2nd and 3.
A gain of 7. And you're correct.
Just so the people watching know, we do not have a good view of the field from here.
We are a little bit far back, but that's okay. 2nd and 3 on the Windsor 35 for the Ravens, and that one almost got knocked down, but Tristan Reddy gets that pass, and we'll see if he has the first down. The sticks are going to move first down, Carleton Ravens.
Carleton running an RPO there, and what's happening is Windsor's defensive backs are dropping right back, and after the play action, that leaves a lot of space open for that quick hitch on the outside. And again, when you only need 5 yards, that's almost a given.
Tristan Reddy with his 2nd reception. Receivers in motion. Barnes looks like he's looking downfield. He's got Derek Yaboa, just came short. Yaboa couldn't get his hands on that one. He took a hit after the play as well.
I don't know if the Windsor player that dropped back into coverage got a hand or tipped that, but may have. We couldn't really tell. But, yeah, that's one Yaboa would like to have back.
So 2nd and 10 for the Ravens. Ball on the Windsor 28. And Barnes going to keep it for himself. He's got space, and he might just be short of the first down.
Looks like he's short by about a yard, but a good read. Carleton was in a quad formation at that time on the right side, and with everybody dropping back, Barnes saw that seam and ran. So they've got 3rd and short now in Aiden Arnott-Smith coming back in along with an extra lineman.
Looks like they're going to go for it here on 3rd and short. Ball's on the 18. It's 3rd and 1 for the Ravens. They want to keep this drive alive. Corey Grant not settling for 3 points.
56 is eligible. Quarterback 1256.
So Barnes, and they're going to bring that heavy set out. We'll see if they got the yard that they needed. It looks from here like they did.
That was Justin Shibley, the quarterback from Ottawa, coming in to do the quarterback sneak. He's QB3 on the depth chart today, so they bring QB3 in for the quarterback sneak, and he's got it.
And they've got the first down. So a gamble there from head coach Corey Grant, but it works out for the Ravens. And now they've got a fresh set of downs, and it looks like Shibley is staying in the game here for the Ravens.
12 the quarterback, 26 the running back.
So Justin Shibley getting a chance to shine. Matt Moraine behind him. One receiver to the right, and they fumble the snap. A big loss here. And a fumble. Windsor jumps on the ball. Unbelievable.
Covered by 54 on the recovery.
Wow, that is not what the Ravens were looking for there. A bad snap. Shibley couldn't get his hands on it. Tough with a wet ball.
Well, that's what we talked about at the outset. That wet ball is going to have a lot of problems caused offensively.
Demir Tagani there was able to get his hands on that and get the recovery. And we are going to go to a quick commercial break, so we'll be right back here on OUA TV for Carleton Ravens football after a short break.
This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
And welcome back to Tag Park. So if you're just tuning in with us here, Carleton made a play on 3rd and 1 to move the sticks and get a chance at a red zone look, and they fumbled the snap. Justin Shibley, the 3rd-string quarterback, was in for the Ravens and just couldn't get his hands on the snap. A wet ball, rainy weather here in Ottawa, Ontario, and the fumble was recovered by the Windsor Lancers. So now Windsor going to be taking another shot here on offense. Danny Skelton in at QB. They haven't been able to move the sticks yet. They've gone 3 and out twice so far. A handoff and no gain on that one. Chris John there on the rush. He hasn't been able to get much going here so far. We'll see if Windsor starts to move the ball in the air.
And again, with that heavy rain, we're seeing a lot of footing problems, a slippery ball. That's 2 plays in a row. We've seen the weather be a factor.
And starting to get a little bit more sunlight here in Ottawa, Ontario, but still lightly raining. And there's a rainbow in the distance here at Tag Park. And snap, that was a little bit of a tough snap, and he gets brought down. None other than Ife Onyeka gets him for a big loss. Danny Skelton goes down, and the legend, Ife Onyeka, drafted this season to the CFL, and he gets his first sack of the game.
That's a great play by Onyeka getting in there. He was almost untouched, and he's from Canada's first family of pass rushers.
28, 27 alone to return for Carleton.
So another 3 and out here for the Windsor Lancers. They are going to boot this one away. Nothing giving for their offense so far. A good boot. Kasim Ferdinand caught that one on about the 33-yard line, and he doesn't really do much with it. Went back and forth. Looks like the ball could be out. There's a scrum for it on the ground. We'll see who comes up with it.
No,
it looks like it's going to be Carleton Ravens' ball as the whistle was blown dead.
They blew it dead before the ball came out. Parker took a long time to get rid of that ball, and it was nearly blocked. He's got to do a better job getting that ball off quicker with Carleton's rush.
So the Carleton offense back into the game. They had a bit of a drive on the last, but it ended in an unfortunate fumble. Elijah Barnes under center. He drops back to pass. He's looking downfield. He's got Kasim Ferdinand, but Kasim Ferdinand drops the ball. And you don't see that often from Kasim Ferdinand at all. It's got to be something to do with the ball in the wet weather.
Well,
here.
they're playing with a wet ball in wet weather, and I mean I know they're exchanging the ball every play with the water boys, or with the ball boys, but still, you know, it makes a difference.
So an incomplete pass, 2nd and 10, ball on the 37 for the Ravens, their own 37 that is. A lot of ground to make up here. Barnes, 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. He's looking to the air. He's got pressure coming. He's going to take it, and he gets hit hard. 2 flags down on the play, 1 in the backfield and 1 on that hit. Looks like that could be. Oh, yeah, and there's some jawing down there between these 2 squads.
So that was a
Barnes slid
holding.
and he still got smacked.
A holding call in the Carleton backfield, but Barnes went down, and not only did he get hit late, but he was targeted in the head. So we'll see if that's an ejection from the game, let alone just a 15-yard penalty.
And Barnes, slow to get up.
Unfortunately, we don't have replay on the broadcast, but when Barnes slid down, you could see that forehead coming right into the head of Barnes. And you just don't like to see that, and there's no need for it.
No, especially in that situation where it didn't look like he was sliding short of the first down anyways.
Yeah, see, he gave himself up, and the Windsor, after he had given himself up, the difference is on that play, it wasn't a fact of incidental contact. Barnes had already given himself up when the Windsor player accelerated into him. So he's going to be out at least 3 plays, but they're probably going to check him out for a concussion protocol.
So Barnes coming to the sideline. We're now on to QB2 of the evening. Tristan Lefebvre, if you're just tuning in, is not dressed for this game. He was injured in week 1 against the Guelph Griffins. That's the Ravens starting quarterback. Elijah Barnes started this game. He just goes down. And it looks like it'll be Zach George. Zach George is in the game for the Ravens at QB.
So I didn't see what number hit Barnes, but he's been ejected from the game, and that's a 25-yard penalty. I believe it was
Trey Ranson who made
that
hit.
Trey Ranson, yeah.
And that's, if he does get ejected from this game, that's a big loss for the Windsor defense.
Well, yeah, he signaled an ejection, and it was 25 yards. So if it was Ranson, that's who it was. But
so we'll wait for confirmation that it was Trey Ranson who made that play, made that hit.
he signaled ejection. Yeah, it's a 25-yard penalty.
So Zach George is in the game for the Ravens. And this, I believe, going to be his first snap of Canadian football. A kid from the States, here from Florida. And he keeps it for himself. He's got room, and he slides down. He could just be short of a first down.
Yeah, he's about a yard short, but a good read. And again, Windsor's dropping back, and that's, right after the line of scrimmage, that's free reign for Carleton to pick up those yards. George is from Fort Lauderdale, Florida, and again, another situation where an American kid comes up here to play university football.
And as I said there, that was his first snap of Canadian football in game.
That's pretty good for a first snap. And it's good for him to run. That gets the jitters out,
So 2nd and 1 for the Ravens. Clock ticking down here on the first quarter. And it's a pass. It's Kasim Ferdinand's got the catch, got the first down, move the sticks. Zach Georges making his first completion of the game.
Kasim Ferdinand now with 3 receptions on the game already.
And that's what he needed, I believe, to move up in the record books today. But you'll confirm that for
I
us
will
there,
confirm
Jeff.
that for us.
So Georges under center. Movement for the Ravens. Hand off to Moraine. Moraine's got room left, and he gets hammered. A big hit coming from Jason Rashadi. And that will close out the first quarter of action. So the score after 1, 0-0. And we'll be right back here on OUA TV after a short break.
Raven. I am intelligent and creative. I am bold and determined. I rely on teamwork, and I am accountable. I am a competitor who will defend my territory.
And welcome back to Tag Park in the nation's capital of Ottawa, Ontario. We're getting set for second quarter action here between the Windsor Lancers and the Carleton Ravens. So the score after 1 is 0-0. Not much given on either side for offense. Windsor's yet to get a first down. And Carleton, on the other hand, they've moved the sticks a little bit but haven't threatened yet. Their one shot to the red zone ended in a fumble off a bad snap. And that was Justin Shibley, who was under the quarterback at the quarterback position at that point in time. Elijah Barnes has gone down for the Ravens, and Zach Georges has taken the field. And we'll see, hopefully Elijah Barnes is okay. He's there on the sideline, standing and looking in okay shape. We'll see if he's able to get out on the field again today. But for now, it'll be Zach Georges, and he's already made a completion to Kasim Ferdinand. He's got 3 receivers right, going to hand it off to Moraine. Moraine's got room. He gets brought down just short of the 20-yard line. And there's a flag on the play. We will see what the flag on the field is for, Jeff.
That was an unnecessary roughness call against the Ravens. It happened during the play, so it'll be back 15 yards, and it'll be 2nd and 18. If it had happened after the game, they'd flip it down to or during the play. If it happened during the play, they'd flip it down and make it 3rd. But Carleton catches a bit of a break there.
And just looking around the league, this is the 2nd game of the day here for OUA football. The first game of the day started at 1 p.m. That was between the Ottawa GGs and the York Lions, and that one saw Ottawa take a 27-4 win over the York Lions. And now first down here at Tag Park for the Ravens after that flag. But they've lost a significant amount of field position there off that play.
There must have been a double penalty there. I don't understand how that's 1st and 10 after Carleton's penalized 15 yards. So
Zach Georges under center. 4 receivers to the right, 3 receivers to the right. He looks left. He's got Tristan ready. Tristan ready, slips, and the ball's out. And that's recovered. It's Robert Springer who recovers that fumble. Unbelievable. Robert Springer had himself a game in week 1 with 3 interceptions, and now a fumble recovery here in week 2.
Another big break for Windsor with Carleton in scoring position. And as you mentioned, yeah, Springer had 3 interceptions last week. That's the school record at Carleton for most interceptions in a game. 5 different players have done that. The first was Al Wiener Lloyd in 1954, had 3 in a game.
And guys, just so you know, that was just off the top of Jeff's head there. He has no notes on that. He just knows that. That's why we love having him up here in the booth. So now Danny Skelton and the Windsor offense back on the field, and it's a rush that doesn't go anywhere. So that was Chris John on the rush, and Ife Onyeka brought him down.
He's got a big offensive line in front of him, and Onyeka did a really good job getting down the line into right behind Clark to make that play.
So a short gain on the play there, 2nd and 8, ball on the 36 for the Lancers. 7 in the box for the Ravens. Defense, they look past, look into the air. That one's dangerous, it's intercepted. The Ravens grabbing that one. Wow, Jake Henderson grabs his first interception of the season. And the Ravens soaring after that interception. Jake Henderson says, "You can't see me," the John Cena celebration. So 2 turnovers in the last few plays here. The Ravens fumble, and Robert Springer recovers for the Lancers. And now an errant pass from Danny Skelton right into the hands of Jake Henderson. That one underthrown.
Or overthrown. You could throw it right in between 2 receivers.
That is true. I'm going to go with underthrown, but hey. And Elijah Barnes back in the game at the QB spot for the Ravens. 3 receivers left, 2 to the right. He's got pressure. That one tipped. Oh, that one was knocked down by Ozima Egidio.
Barnes back into the game, and he had his helmet knocked off after the play there. So usually when you lose a helmet in football, in the OUA, you have to sit out for 3 plays, but because the helmet was knocked off, he doesn't have to sit out.
So 2nd and 10, ball on the 49 for the Ravens. Barnes steps back to pass, rolls out to his left. He's got a man. It's Frederick Hatchie. Just couldn't keep his hands on it. He jumped for that pass, but he was wide open. Nobody on him. That one was kind of his for the taking there, and he dropped it.
That's, again, we've seen that a couple times. A wide open receiver with lots of real estate in front of him and just can't squeeze the ball.
So 3 and out for the Ravens. And they're going to send Chandra onto the field.
Chandra's got aim for the sideline on this play.
And that was a low snap.
Really effective punt.
And Javoni Cunningham going to get, oh, he's fighting for yards there. That's down very far corner of the field. He gets brought down around the 5 or 6 yard line. So going to be a difficult place to start your drive here for the Windsor Lancers. A lot of real estate to make up if they want to turn this into any type of drive.
Perfect punt on that play by Chandra. Got the ball right near the sideline so that Cunningham was hemmed in right at the 5 yard line. Carleton's got the Lancers right on the shadow of their own goal line.
And Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I don't believe the Lancers offense have moved the sticks yet at all. I don't think they've had a first down.
I don't believe they have.
Skelton, it's a handoff. That one, Joey Zorn. He gets brought down after a very short gain. And some more physical antics down there after the play between these two teams. We've kind of seen that throughout the game here. Definitely two teams that don't like each other that much, and Liam Talbot is limping his way off the field here. You hope for the Lancers that he's okay. A very versatile player on their offense, and he's not even going to make it off the field. He ends up taking a knee on his way off, and the Lancers staff will come out and take a look at him. It looked like he was favoring his left leg, and it seems like there's an issue with his right ankle, right foot.
Zorn, another one of the American players on this Windsor team. He's a guy that is strong into the backfield. He's a strong blocker, and he's also a good receiver in the slot. So a very effective player. He's 6'2", 215, and he's from Powers Catholic High School in Flint, Michigan.
And a business major at Windsor University.
Well, the Ravens just gave him the business. See what I did there?
Yeah, I did see what you did there. It
Yeah.
actually took me a second, but I
Okay.
got that. That was a good one. We'll see. Hopefully,
7 the quarterback, 8 the running back.
hopefully Liam Talbot is all good. And Danny Skelton, 2nd and 9. Ball on their own 7. He's going to step back to pass. He's got to keep it for himself. He's got room. He gets taken down, though, and that is Brody Burke in on the tackle. My apologies. That was Nathan Clark who got him down.
What made that play possible, again, we just talked about Zorn and his blocking, but he threw a really good block at about the 15-yard line on Xavier Malone that sprung sprung Skelton free for an extra 3 to 5 yards.
And
Third and two deep in their own end. They're not taking any chances.
No, and another 3 and out here for the Windsor offense, which has been the story of the game so far for Windsor. They just haven't been able to make anything happen on offense. But luckily, their defense has been creating, problems for the Ravens and getting turnovers and getting the ball back when the Ravens are in scoring positions. So far, the Windsor defense keeping them into this game, and their offense just hasn't been able to get rolling.
Don't be surprised if they take a knee and give up 2 here.
And a flag at center field here.
Looks like time count violation. Are they short a player? I don't know what that was all about.
Well,
Now it's almost a done deal that they're going to take a knee.
yeah, they have to take a safety here, unfortunately. So it will likely be 2-0 for the Ravens after this play, but we will see for sure whether he boots this one off
He's
or
going to
not.
kick it just because you said that.
Well, we'll see. Oh, that one. He will take a knee. Bad snap.
Tristan Damas calls it. Seer of the future.
I wish I could see the future. I definitely enjoy that. So a 2-0 lead for the Ravens.
I'm looking into the future because I'm going to have a sip of Diet Coke here in about 5 seconds.
They're going to flip the field. And the Ravens offense going to come out, take the field now with a 2-0 lead. And the ball's going to be on the Raven 40-yard line. 1st and 10. And a handoff to Matt Moray. Moray gets brought down after a short game. That's Trey Ranson in on that tackle.
It would have been a different player that was ejected.
It must have been someone else that was ejected. Trey Ranson still in the game, as well as Devin Verisuk is still there, and Jason Rashadi. So it was none of their starting linebackers who were ejected. We apologize for that mistake.
That was my fault.
Well, the whole stadium also believes that it was Ranson that was ejected. Barnes steps back to pass. He's being pressured. And he's going to see if he can get some yards out of this one. He does. He's brought down just short of a first down. And looks like they're going to bring on Joey Chandra and boot this one away.
Liam Hoskins made that tackle for Windsor. And if you look on the roster, Hoskins' last team is listed as the Strathroy Rockets, which is actually a junior B hockey team. He was a AAA hockey player who switched over to football.
And Chandra boots this one away. Javoni Cunningham back to receive. He makes one man miss, makes another miss. He's got some room, coming to the right side of the field. He's got space. Green grass ahead. Chandra, the only one in front of him. And Chandra slips. Javoni Cunningham brought down by Chris Toupé at the Carleton 39-yard line. What a return from the Windsor Lancers. Special teams, finally, something positive. Some good field position here for the Windsor offense to take the field with. See what Danny Skelton can do with it.
Looks like it's coming back with an illegal block. But
oh, and that's just unfortunate.
Chandra dodged a bullet. I've been talking about this all last season and this season. If you're going to kick line drive bullets and outkick your coverage, and you've got a returner like that, you're asking for something like that to happen. He's got to get the ball up in the air and give his returners time to get downfield.
And that is just truly unfortunate for the Lancers. Got me all excited, and now that one's going to be going back. So forget the field position. Windsor Lancers are actually hemmed right back down where they were just a drive ago, right on their own goal line pretty much. They're going to be on their own 15-yard line, so a lot of work to be done here for the Lancers, especially considering they've yet to move the sticks and get a first down. Danny Skelton going to be looking to change that here on this drive. He's got two receivers to the right, three to the left. And a handoff going to be Waby Mombau on that rush.
Isaiah Joseph getting in there again on the tackle. Wavy Mamba, interesting story. He was on the Windsor 4x400 meter relay team in the spring that won the USports National Championship. That guy's got jets.
And you got to love a dual athlete as well. That takes a lot of dedication and just straight hard work to be a full-time student and a double sport athlete. And that's Waby Mumbau again, out to the left there. He gets brought down by Chris Toupé. And finally, a first down for the Windsor Lancers.
We saw Windsor run that screen against Queens very effectively. This tackle stay home, block to the inside. The center and the two guards release out there, and he's got Mamba has three blockers in front of him.
So 1st and 10 for the Lancers. Ball on the 37-yard line. Danny Skelton drops back to pass. Javoni Cunningham he got tripped up by L. James Igamudu. He's about 2 or 3 yards short of a first down, actually, depending where they mark him down.
If Igamudu misses that tackle,
he's got
Cunningham's
space.
Gone.
Oh, yeah, for sure. L. James Igamudu just barely got him, too. Was just able to trip him up. Got his hand around the ankle there. And it's going to be 2nd down and 3. Skelton. He's got a man and a first down.
Chris Toupé made a big tackle on that play, and Skeleton just nickel and diming, and like Carleton, he's finding seams in the inside.
Mateo Trifon in on that play for the Lancers, getting that first down in his first reception of the game. So 1st and 10 for the Lancers, ball on their own 43-yard line, and a flag on the play. Somebody jumped. That's going to go against the Windsor Lancers. That'll be a 5-yard penalty. So going to be 1st and 15 now for the Lancers. The ball going to move back. ball now on the 38-yard line for the Windsor Lancers. Danny Skelton. See what he can do here with this first down, and a lot of work to do. Skelton looking right. Was looking towards Evan Martin, but Evan Martin wasn't looking towards the ball, and that pass was really not too close to Evan Martin. So 2nd and 15.
Skelton was either looking for Martin to run an out pattern and he didn't, or he was throwing the ball away because he knew there was nothing there. Carleton dropped into a cover 3 on that play with 3 players deep. They're trying to protect against the 15-yard first down, so let's see what they do defensively. But if they're going to do that, they need Onyeka and Joseph to get in there and put a pass rush on Skelton.
So they're just taking a look at Joe Fillion for the Lancers. Slightly banged up.
Their roster has Fillion listed as a defensive back.
At 360 pounds? 380 pounds he's listed as 6-foot defensive back.
Yeah, he'll be guarding Kasim Ferdinand in the next.
Obviously a slight mistake on their roster there. Fillion is a first-year.
He's trying to come back in, but he has to leave for 3 plays. Or maybe it must have been an equipment.
Looks like they're letting him.
It must have been an equipment fix. Because a DB that fast, can blow their equipment up, right?
This Danny Skelton lets one go. That one picked off by the Ravens. And that one bounced off a few hands. We'll see who came down with it. There's a few Ravens in the vicinity.
I think
not
that's
too
Henderson
sure
again.
just yet. It could be Jake Henderson.
Windsor saying they've got the ball.
Nothing.
It's Carleton's ball.
So Carleton's ball, it's Jake Henderson with his 2nd interception of the game. Henderson having himself an evening here.
So he's one pass away from joining Al Wiener-Lloyd. At the end of this play, I'll tell you who the other guys with 3 are. Just to appease the alumni watching the broadcast.
And we will be right back after a quick commercial break, so don't go anywhere. We've got some exciting football coming up. 2nd quarter action. Right now the score, Ravens 2, Lancers 0. And we'll be right back after this short break on OUA TV.
This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
And welcome back to Tag Park. Going to be a Ravens ball. 1st and 10 here after an interception from Jake Henderson. Gives the Ravens not bad field position to start with. And this one a pass. And he's got it. He makes a man miss. He's on the way. And he gets brought down. Devin Veresuk with the tackle. Dante Spadaccini with his first reception of the game and makes something of it. And a 29-yard reception there for Spadaccini and some great yards after the catch. Barnes, a quick out. Spadaccini with another reception. He gets brought down. That one a short gain. 3 or 4 on that.
Would have been a loss on that play, but Frederick Hache made a really good block on that play to I mean it was only a gain of 2, but it could have been Windsor's defense played that very well. It could have been a loss of 2 or 3.
So gain of 4, 2nd and 6, ball on the Lancer 28 for the Ravens. Elijah Barnes under center, 3 receivers right to the left. He's looking right. He's got a man, and that's an incomplete pass. And Robert Springer was in to make that play for the Lancers, and a man down for the Ravens. That's Frederick Hatchie, who's beaten up on the turf. And that's an important player for the Ravens, one of their top receivers. So you hope that he's okay. Carleton staff on their way out to take a look at Frederick Hatchie. Haven't seen much of him since the first quarter. He had a few receptions, and that was his only target since. But he's up and making his way off the field with limited assistance. That's good to see.
One of the things that Carleton is very fortunate of is they've got tremendous depth at the receiver position. They have a lot of guys that can come in and make plays. So this is a situation of next man up. Hachi may be able to, next possession, may be able to get back into the game too.
So now Aiden Arnott-Smith into the game. And Tristan Ronaldis here, as we're going to see a field goal attempt from the Ravens.
This could be a historic field goal.
And it's interesting, if Brandon Forsay makes this field goal right here, as he does, he will pass none other than yourself, Jeff Morris. How does that feel to have your kind of standing on that all-time list taken up there by Brandon Forsay? That makes it 39 field goals made in his career here at Carleton, and he passes you, who had 38.
Yeah, he does. And you know what? He missed 2 last week, and I was kind of thinking, good, I want him to get 39 here. It's because I want to go down and congratulate him after the game. Michael Domagala has 70. I don't think anyone's catching him.
No.
And also, you know, he'll never catch me for most missed field goals because I had about 1,012,000 missed field goals.
Well, I don't know if that's the record that he'll be looking to pass you up on, but congratulations to Brandon Forcier, moving to 2nd all-time on the field goals made list here at Carleton. And Joey Zorn there brought down on the 49-yard line.
Okay.
Sorry, 44-yard line. You're correct, Jeff. So 2nd and 1 for the Lancers. Danny Skelton, and a errant snap. He jumps on it, but a huge loss there for the Lancers, and that one was just up over the head of Danny Skelton. Again, we don't have replay here in the booth, but if you missed that, it was just a bad snap that went right over the head of Skelton. Nothing really that he could have done about it, but good for him to getting back there and jumping on the ball. At least giving them the option to punt this one away instead of giving Carleton excellent field position.
When you look at what the centers are doing on shotgun plays, they're passing it back like a pass, but a lot of the centers now are putting the point down and snapping it that way to avoid situations like both teams have had now. We saw Queens do that last week.
So James Parker to boot this one away, and Kasim Ferdinand back for the Ravens to return. Ferdinand fields it at the 43-yard line, and he's going right, flag on the play. And he gets brought down by Robert Springer.
We've got an illegal block on Carleton, it looks like.
And I apologize, that was Sean Adams in on the tackle, number 26.
So the penalty on that play is applied where the ball was, not necessarily where the fraction was.
So 2.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. Carleton up by 5 right now on the Windsor Lancers.
So the illegal block was actually a face mask. So it was a block to the cage, block to the face. I don't know what we would call that.
Interesting to note as well, Jeff, that the At the 55 podcast, they do a kind of weekly pick every week. And this week there were 6 people that made picks, and everyone chose Windsor to win this game. And so far, it's been all Carleton, at least offensively. And Barnes kicks it out to Kasim Ferdinand on the sideline, got a reception, gets a few yards off that. It'll be second and about 3 or 4.
Ferdinand getting a lot of action with short passes, but he's not getting a lot of yards. Windsor's right on him after the catch.
So 4-yard game. 2nd and 6 for the Ravens on their own 36-yard line. Elijah Barnes under center. He's got 2 receivers left, 2 receivers right. He's looking left. He's looking for Ronaldus, but that's a PI on the play. And things so far just going the way of the Ravens here.
The reason that was called, that was on number 5, Braden McDougall, their veteran safety. And while the ball was in the air, a lot of people are watching the ball when it's in the air, but what's happening is he's obstructing Ronaldus from getting into position.
Right.
So by the time people, he's in their view. From where the ball was, people didn't see the infraction happen. But
so Breton McDougall takes that flag and gonna give Ravens fresh set of downs here. 1st and 10 for Barnes and the Ravens. Frederick Hatchie back on the field. At the bottom of your screen here for the Ravens, and it looks like this one's going to be for Hatchie, and he doesn't make that catch. So intended for Frederick Hatchie, an incomplete ball. And there was a few DBs there in the vicinity of Hatchie. Randy Shakuna was there. Robert Springer was making his way over, but Ethan John was in the vicinity as well. But didn't see exactly what kind of stopped Hatchie from getting his hands on that ball, but
Windsor brought the house on that play, and there was a lot of room in the backfield for him to make that catch.
And it looks like a blitz might be coming again. It is. They send, and a pass complete there to Tristan Reddy. He looks like he's just short, but we'll see where the marking is. So Tristan Reddy with another reception, that being his 4th of the game.
Reddy dove before the ball went out of bounds, but they didn't give him credit for the dive.
And a timeout taken by Windsor there as Carleton was getting ready to go for it on 3rd and 1 at the 50-yard line, their own 50-yard line. So something there that Windsor didn't like. They're going to take some time to reorganize. See what Carleton does after this timeout. Looks like Zach Georges is going to be heading onto the field, and Elijah Barnes going to be coming off the field. So short yard situation. Last time it was Justin Shibley in to deal with it for the Ravens. Now going to be Zach Georges. Obviously, when Shibley was in for the Ravens on that 3rd and 1 conversion, he was able to get it, but the next play he fumbled the snap and turned the ball over. So I imagine they're going to give Zach Georges a shot here on 3rd and 1, see what he can do with it. Just over 2 minutes left to play in the first half. The score 5-0 for the Carleton Ravens. Ball on the Windsor 50-yard line.
And that timeout may have just been to stop the clock.
And looks like Georges keeps it for himself on this one. It looks like they're going to be short of the first down, and that'll send the Ravens defense back out onto the field. And Danny Skelton and the Windsor Lancers offense coming back out onto the field.
After a timeout, the clock doesn't start until it's stop time in Canada in the last 3 minutes of the half. So what happened on that play, rather than blowing the clock in and letting it run down 20 seconds before that play, Windsor called the timeout to stop the clock. The clock didn't start till the snap, so now they have 2:09 to work with instead of about a minute 30.
So Danny Skelton back under center for the Windsor Lancers. 2 receivers to the bottom of your screen, 1 receiver to the top of your screen. A handoff to Joey Zorn, not making much out of it. A short gain, if any, for Joey Zorn, maybe a yard or 2 out of that. And the rush game just has not been working for the Windsor Lancers here so far. The Carleton linebackers as well as line has just been all over that, and the O-line for the Lancers just not really making any holes big enough for these running backs of the Lancers to make any plays. They gave him 2 on that rush. So 2nd and 8, a lot of 2nd and long situations here for the Lancers today. And he wasn't able to get that snap. Ball's out. Ife Onyeka looked like he got the snap. They called him down on contact, though. So a sack for Ife Onyeka.
That's the danger of doing that mesh fake with the RPO, because sometimes he's giving it to the ball carrier, sometimes he's not. Any bit of confusion there, and that's what happens. Carleton came in very strong and Onyeka off the edge, and that's a big play for the Ravens.
And that's his 2nd sack of the game for Ife Onyeka. Someone who is just born and bred to play football. So many excellent football players in his family, his cousins, his brothers, and now him, a CFL draft this past season. And another sack here for him on the day. Ottman Brom to receive this punt. And he's making a little bit of space for himself. Gets out at around the 31-yard line.
So we talked about Chandra hitting a low-line drive. Parker did the same thing there and opens the door for a 15-yard return. But, you know, he breaks 1 tackle and he's gone on the sideline.
The Ravens offense taking the field once again. Minute 21.
That's lots of time for them to get in scoring position with stop time.
It definitely is, and we'll see if Elijah Barnes can be surgical about this drive here and what they draw up for him. Right now he's got 4 receivers to the left, 3 in motion, dropping back to pass. He's got to take it for himself, but he doesn't. He passes it an open Tristan Reddy in the middle of the field, and he gets brought down. Sorry, that's Frederick Hatchie on that catch.
We're going to add 15 to that. Braden McDougall got in a little bit of a WWE situation with Tristan Ronaldus there and threw and knocked his helmet off, so we're going to go up another 15 from there. This game is this game is really chippy. I think what they're going to do at halftime is they're going to go spray some sage on the field and try to get everybody to, you know, mellow out a little bit. Carleton is in scoring position with more than a minute left. They've got lots of time.
So 1st and 10 for the Ravens. Ball on the Lancer 34-yard line. Barnes and someone jumped the gun there. Looks like it's going to be on the offense. Tristan Reddy was certainly offside.
I was watching Ferdinand on that play on his waggle, and he hit the brakes just before the line of scrimmage. But yeah, you're right. It might have been Reddy.
We'll see.
No.
Oh,
Windsor.
they call it on Windsor. So someone on the D-line jumped. And a 5-yard penalty for the Lancers there. 1st and 5 now for Barnes and the Ravens Elijah Barnes has Tristan Reddy, Ben Huckabone, Tristan Ronaldus, and Frederick Hatchie to his right, and Kasim Ferdinand, the lonely man, to the left. Barnes looking towards Ferdinand. Ferdinand just not able to keep his hands on it. That's his second or third drop of the day here. Not something you see often from him.
No, and you know, we talk about the slippery ball, but that shouldn't be an issue anymore at this point in the game.
No, it hasn't been raining for a while here now, and that one just, yeah, not able to get his hands on it, but 2nd and 5, definitely manageable for the Ravens.
Ferdinand's playing without gloves.
Is he?
I don't know, and I see Reddy's not wearing gloves either.
Yeah, you're right. So now Elijah Barnes, he's got Matt Morin to his right. And he's going to be looking to the air here, looking towards Hatchie. And look who it is, none other than Robert Springer, in to knock that pass down. It was intended for Frederick Hatchie, and with the great field position that the Ravens were given there, they're not able to do anything with it. Minute and 5 seconds left to play, and a 36-yard field goal attempt coming up here.
And
that's
been Carleton's issue for the last couple of years. They want him to kick extra points, not field goals. They got to get the ball in the end zone.
Forcier puts this one up, and it's good. So Ravens going to go up by 8 now.
My record of 1,012,000 missed field goals is safe for now.
Brandon Forcier makes good on that field goal. That makes it 40 made field goals in his career now here at Carleton. And the Windsor offense taking the field for what could be their last drive of the first half. And just haven't been able to get anything going all game today. That's really been the story for the Lancers, is just lackluster offense and nothing really given in their rush game. They're trying the pass game here, but a short gain. That one was a completion to Colby Gins, but wasn't able to do too much with it. A gain of 6, it looks like they're going to give him. Sorry, gain of 4. So 1st and 6 for the Lancers, and ball on their own 38. Clock is ticking.
See, look at the way the center's pointing the ball down now.
Yeah, making sure that they don't have any more problems on their snap. Skelton drops back to pass, and he didn't have a man. That's Xavier Malone that still came and delivered a really big hit, and that's Evan Martin, who's banged up, and that was really a huge hit from the big man Xavier Malone in the middle.
Getting back to that hitch pass, what they're trying to do is they're bringing 2 inside receivers and they're kicking out the corner and the halfback, and then they're throwing the hitch and trying to bring him back into the inside. But Carleton pursued that well, they read it well, and their defense is really playing well.
And you hope here that Evan Martin just had the wind knocked out of him a little bit. It looked like his kind of body folded in that way that might cause you to have the wind knocked out of you. So he's making his own way off the field, which is good. So I imagine that's just what it was. A big hit there delivered by Xavier Malone. And 3rd and 6 now for the Windsor Lancers. So another 3 and out here for Windsor.
And again, Carleton can get in field goal position again. They've got time.
James Parker to boot this one away. Ferdinand and Brom back to receive. Parker. It's Kasim Ferdinand. Ooh, he bobbled that one on the catch. He dropped one in practice the other day, and Corey Grant wasn't too happy about that, but he was able to get his hands wrapped around that one and get a small gain on the return.
We'll see what kind of defense Windsor is in here, because Carleton's going to try to work the ball in the middle. If they drop 3 back, there's that area about 15 or 20 yards downfield that is exposed. So let's see how many they drop back and who rushes. I think they're going to rush 4 and they're going to drop probably 8 players back.
Yeah, I think you're right, Jeff. I think they're definitely, as everyone in Tag Park right now is going to be anticipating.
It's a moot point because
they're going to take a knee. And they're just going to run. So Barnes takes a knee. That'll make it 2nd and 10 for the Ravens. 20 seconds left to play. And they're just going to knee the rest of this half out. So as the first half comes to a close, the score is 8 for the Carleton Ravens and 0 for the Windsor Lancers. So some work to be done for Windsor here. They haven't been able to get anything going on offense, and the Ravens just haven't really been able to convert when they're in scoring positions. So lots of work to do on both sides of the ball, on both offensive sides of the ball for both of these teams. And we will see you right back here after the halftime.
I belong.
I belong. I belong.
I belong. I belong.
I belong.
I belong.
Saying I belong carries significance.
It goes beyond individual or team performance.
It touches on the broader social context of the representation within sport.
Saying I belong conveys a powerful message.
A message of empowerment, resilience, and the breaking of barriers.
Signifies determination to overcome obstacles
and succeed in an environment that may not always be inclusive
or representative of diverse backgrounds.
Saying I belong asserts the right to be recognized, respected, and valued.
It hides a desire to challenge stereotypes and to promote diversity.
It inspires others from similar backgrounds
to pursue their dreams in sport while feeling supported.
Saying I belong can also serve as a reminder to the sports community.
A reminder of the importance of inclusivity, equal opportunity.
And create an environment that celebrates and embraces diversity.
It can pave the way for greater representation
and contribute to positive change in the industry.
Saying I belong is a powerful affirmation
that everyone has a rightful place in the sport.
Looking forward to a great evening. It's a chance to obviously celebrate all the successes from this last year. We're really here, and the work we do is on behalf of the student athletes and their coaches. So a special shout out to the student athletes and the coaches in the room today.
She helped lead her team to the Quigley Cup title. The 23-24 OUA Athlete of the Year is Brock Badger's volleyball standout, Sarah Roy. He was first team OUA All-Star, the 23-24 OUA Athlete of the Year from the Guelph Griffins, Max Davies.
Sport has changed society. Sport does reproduce the dominant values in society, but that means if we get it right, then we become part of that. And so A good message tonight is a big thank you to our OUA staff, who was charged with dealing with the biggest conference in the country to make it work.
To my colleagues I've worked with in this room my whole time while at U Ottawa, thank you. It has been my pleasure to meet you, to learn from every single one of you, to get to know you, to share some good laughs together, and probably some tears too, through tough moments that we've all supported one another.
Congratulations to the 2023-24 J.P. Loosemore Award recipient, Carleton University's Jennifer Brennan.
I've been working in this industry for 36 years. It's been an incredible career. I've been so blessed and fortunate to work with so many great people, those that look out for me, those that welcomed me, and those that have supported me. Thank the OUA staff and Gord for this incredible honor.
It's a real pleasure to look back on everything that the folks in this room have accomplished here tonight over the course of the 23-24 OUA season, and it's really exciting to look forward. We've got some time off now, but we get to do it all again for the 24-25 season.
Where exceptional student athletes are born, where records are broken, where great plays are made, where school colors ignite passion, where champions prevail, where tradition is celebrated, Ontario University Athletics.
Under in the finish. USports player putting it on.
Baker crops over the timeline with a pull-up three. Bang! From the University of Toronto, the Varsity Blues. Rainbow still going.
There's Walker to the rim. Yes! David Walker.
Pittsburgh challenge. Barber up and good.
Throws it down.
9 on the clock. Wide open jumper. Up and good.
I belong.
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 Saying I belong carries significance.
It goes beyond individual or team performance.
It touches on the broader social context of the representation within sport.
Saying I belong conveys a powerful message.
A message of empowerment, resilience, and the breaking of barriers.
Signifies determination to overcome obstacles
and succeed in an environment that may not always be inclusive
or representative of diverse backgrounds.
Saying I belong asserts the right to be recognized, respected, and valued.
It highlights a desire to challenge stereotypes and to promote diversity.
It inspires others from similar backgrounds
to pursue their dreams in sport while feeling supported.
Saying I belong can also serve as a reminder to the sports community.
A reminder of the importance of inclusivity, equal opportunity.
And create an environment that celebrates and embraces diversity.
It can pave the way for greater representation
and contribute to positive change in the industry.
Saying I belong is a powerful affirmation
that everyone has a rightful place in the sport.
And welcome to the Robertson Electric halftime show here at Tag Park. Home opener for the Carleton Ravens, and so far it's been a low-scoring game, but action-packed, Jeff. We've seen a lot of big defensive plays on both ends of the ball, but the story really so far, at least for the Windsor Lancers, is just not being able to get anything going on offense. They've barely moved the sticks. They've only have a handful of first downs through that first half. And what have you seen from them, and what do you need to see from them moving forward?
That's the biggest surprise because everybody was expecting a shootout in this game, and Windsor moved the ball almost at will against Queens, and Carleton gave up 300 yards on the ground against Guelph. So everybody thought it was just going to be back and forth and back and forth.
Right.
But Carleton's defense has come up really big, and Windsor's offensive line has to do a better job, especially on the edge where Ife Onyeka is playing. He's having a game of the best game he's played here in a long time.
And something to note for the Windsor Lancers is just all game, the bad field position. They're just in the shadow of their own goal line, as you said, the entire game. How important is it for them to start making some moves down the field here?
They've got to get in a better position because when you're down in your own end, you have to play very conservative so you don't give up a pick six. Carleton special teams and a combination of that, and Windsor's taken a lot of penalties, and they're backing themselves up. So they're putting themselves in a bit of a hole, and they need to get better field position to make this a better game. But they're only down by one score, though.
Yeah, and when we talk about big defensive plays, super important to note Carleton's Jake Henderson, number 18 for the Ravens. He's got 2 interceptions so far for the Ravens, and you mentioned a record could be broken if he grabs another.
Yeah, the record is 3. Okay, you ready?
I'm ready.
Al Wiener Lloyd was the first in 1954.
Right.
Then Jason Millette, then Wayne Wilson. They both did it in 1993. And then Jay Dearborn did it, and then Danny McWhirter did
Wow.
it. So that's the list of people that have 3, and Jake Henderson's trying to join that group today.
So if Jake Henderson joins that group with 3, that'll be huge for him. And who knows, 4's in the cards. Still a lot of football left to be played here. That might be reaching a little bit, but we will see you shortly on OUA TV for second half action. Thank you for tuning in.
I belong.
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 Saying I belong carries significance.
It goes beyond individual or team performance.
It touches on the broader social context of the representation within sport.
Saying I belong conveys a powerful message.
A message of empowerment, resilience, and the breaking of barriers.
Signifies determination to overcome obstacles
and succeed in an environment that may not always be inclusive
Or representative of diverse backgrounds.
Saying I belong asserts the right to be recognized, respected, and valued.
It hides a desire to challenge stereotypes and to promote diversity.
It inspires others from similar backgrounds
to pursue their dreams in sport while feeling supported.
Saying I belong can also serve as a reminder to the sports community.
A reminder of the importance of inclusivity, equal opportunity.
And create an environment that celebrates and embraces diversity.
It can pave the way for greater representation
and contribute to positive change in the industry.
Saying I belong is a powerful affirmation
that everyone has a rightful place in the sport.
We're looking forward to a great evening. It's a chance to obviously celebrate all the successes from this last year. We're really here, and the work we do is on behalf of the student athletes and their coaches. So a special shout out to the student athletes and the coaches in the room today.
She helped lead her team to the Quigley Cup title. The 23-24 OUA Athlete of the Year is Brock Badgers volleyball standout, Sarah Roy. He was first team OUA All-Star, the 23-24 OUA Athlete of the Year from the Guelph Griffins, Max Davis.
Sport has changed society. Sport does reproduce the dominant values in society, but that means if we get it right, then we become part of that. And so a good message tonight is a big thank you to our OUA staff who was charged with dealing with the biggest conference in the country to make it work.
To my colleagues I've worked with in this room my whole time while at U Ottawa, thank you. It has been my pleasure to meet you, to learn from every single one of you, to get to know you, to share some good laughs together, and probably some tears too, through tough moments that we've all supported one another.
Congratulations to the 2023-24 J.P. Loosemore Award recipient, Carleton University's Jennifer Brennan.
I've been working in this industry for 36 years. It's been an incredible career. I've been so blessed and fortunate to work with so many great people, those that look out for me, those that welcomed me, and those that have supported me. Thank the OUA staff and Gord for this incredible honor.
It's a real pleasure to look back on everything that the folks in this room have accomplished here tonight over the course of the 23-24 OUA season, and it's really exciting to look forward. We've got some time off now, but we get to do it all again for the 24-25 season.
Welcome back to Tag Park here in the nation's capital of Ottawa, Ontario. Some sunny football now after a rainy start to this game. The Ravens up 8-0 over the Windsor Lancers in their home opener game. Carleton so far 0-1 on the season after a loss to the Guelph Griffins last week, and the Windsor Lancers 1-0 after a win to the Queen's Gales, but so far hasn't been pretty for the Windsor Lancers here this afternoon. And Jeff, something we just noted there in the halftime is that the Windsor Lancers, while also being plagued with just bad field position and not being able to get their offense going, they've also had 11 penalties resulting in 143 yards in penalties, which it's really hard to win a football game when you're being penalized that often.
Yeah, and not only that they had those penalties, but they come in misopportune times. And one thing we should clarify, we had mentioned that Trey
Ranson.
Yeah, Trey Ranson was ejected from the game. Even though the official mistakenly signaled that he was ejected, he was not ejected. He did get a targeting penalty, and there was a 24 or 25-yard difference, but he is not ejected from the game. So apologies for that error. That was my fault, not yours.
So Brandon Forcier here to kick this one off. And Waby Mumbau and Javoni Cunningham back to return. This one's off, and bit of a miss kick there. Was that intentional, or was that kick?
That's very intentional. You've got two national level track and field guys standing back at the 5-yard line. And to kick a squibber like that, hit the 30-yard line, Carleton will take that every day rather than risk having a return for a touchdown. Cunningham has run 4 kicks back for touchdowns in his career.
So ball's going to be on the Windsor Lancer 29-yard line. And there's a new quarterback in the game here for the Lancers. That's Corson Roy, and he keeps it for himself, and he gets brought down by Ife Onyeka after a short gain. So Roy kept it for himself, got a few yards, and Ife Onyeka brings him down.
Roy's a second-year business major, 6'2", 190, he's from London. He played in the Woodstock Wolverines youth program.
And so, yeah, Windsor just making a change here at the half after Danny Skelton's been unable to get anything rolling with his Windsor Lancer offense. So, you know, Windsor's figured change it up, see what we can get out of Corson. And Corson Roy keeps it for himself again. That's what you get with Roy, someone that can keep the ball and make plays with his feet. Something that Danny Skelton did a good job of last week against the Gales. He had her touchdown.
One thing that the Ravens really needed to work on was getting their defensive backs, their secondary level, up to help with the linebackers. And Elamudu, I can't say his name, Elgamudu made a great play there to come up and make that tackle on Roy. I was close with that name, right?
Yeah, L. James Agamudu. I'd say you're pretty close. James Parker. Back to boot this off. And Kasim Ferdinand had a little bit of running room there, but ended up being brought down by Sean Adams.
Really close to no yards there, a 5-yard no yards penalty, but what happened was the player right on the cusp of the zone was backpedaling out of the zone, so they usually let that go if he's right on the edge and he's taking himself out of the play like that.
So the Carleton Ravens offense going to get their first drive of the half, the second half. Elijah Barnes, 2 receivers right, 2 left, but Kasim Ferdinand in motion, handoff to Matt Moray, and Moray's got some running room. He gets out at around the 54-yard line.
Moray really chugs his legs, and you know, anybody that's old school watching the broadcast, Ottawa Rough Riders had a running back named Ronnie Stewart, and he's almost a clone of Ronnie Stewart. Moray's about 5'7", about 190, and he drives his legs hard and is hard to bring down.
So a gain of 4, 2nd and 6. Ball on the Ravens' 52-yard line. Barnes with 2 receivers right, 2 to the left. He's looking to the air, and that was just a missed pass there. It was intended for Tristan Reddy, but was passed pretty much to his feet there. Not really a catchable ball for Tristan Reddy, and a quick 3-and-out for the Ravens to start the first half, the second half.
There was a bit of a miscommunication on that play. Barnes turned around for the ball fake. No running back was there, and that sort of broke up the play action.
Chandra boots this one away. That one almost blocked. Javoni Cunningham fields it at the 15-yard line, and he cuts back, looking for space. Now he's brought down at the 11-yard line. And that's going to be a big play there made by Isaiah Joseph.
Isaiah Joseph, a defensive lineman, getting down there, making that play, showing his speed and agility. Transfer student, played for the UBC Thunderbirds before coming to Carleton.
Corson Roy back in at QB for the Windsor Lancers. Going to be 1st and 10. Ball on their own 13-yard line for the Lancers, and field position is something we discussed at halftime for the Lancers, something they haven't had a very positive run at here. And a handoff to Joey Zorn. He gets brought down by L. James Igamudu. Glad to see Igamudu here playing today. Practiced the other day. He looked like he was pretty banged up with a leg injury, but he is good to go today. A short gain on that Joey Zorn handoff.
And once again, you're seeing the halfbacks come up and support the run, and he's getting right up to the line of scrimmage on that. Carleton's defense really doing a good job against Windsor's run.
Fake handoff. And that's going to be a completion there for Corson Roy. That was completed to Mateo Trifon, his second reception of the game. So first down, Windsor. Their first down of the second half.
He really did a good effort to stretch out and put the ball ahead of the yard marker on that play. Chris Tupin made a great tackle, but he was able to extend and get that first down.
Chris Tupin last week had 8 tackles. He's one of those guys that's super physical, always in on the plays, and this one's picked off. Schneider Cave with a pick for the Ravens, and Corson Roy overthrew that ball right into Schneider Cave's area.
Schneider Cave came into the Ravens a couple of years ago as a linebacker and moved back to the safety halfback positions, and an intensely hard hitter, but a great athlete, and made a big play there. That was as good as a punt for Windsor, though.
So that's the third interception grabbed by this Carleton Ravens secondary today, and first interception thrown by Corson Roy. Barnes gonna look to pass. He's got a man. That's Kasim Ferdinand out at the 45-yard line. So he'll have about 6 to go. It'll be 2nd and 6 for the Ravens offense.
Ferdinand has 5 receptions, but he's only got 24 yards receiving. They've got to get him the ability to get the ball near the numbers, but get some yards after catch.
Timeout taken by the Ravens. It's a low-scoring game here so far, yet a lot to cheer about on both sides. There's been a lot of great defensive plays to kind of get excited about for both of these teams. Now they just need to translate some of these, drives into scores.
Yeah, and both teams, like Carleton, could have 2 touchdowns on the board, but they've 2 drives where they've been in scoring position, they've self-destructed. So on unfortunate plays, one on a 3rd down gamble, another one on a snap over the head, like they've got, and a turnover. Carleton's got to take advantage of the time that they are in Windsor's zone.
So Barnes, he's got 3 receivers right, 2 to the left. Moray going to be in blocking and a pass out to Ben Huckabone. He comes down with it. So first down, Ravens, move those sticks. Ben Huckabone with his first reception of the game.
Huckabone's a great athlete. He like Barnes, he's a basketball player as well as a football player when he came here. And a big target, he was a tight end in high school, but he's playing wide receiver here, and he's done really well.
The Ravens move the ball across half field. Barnes steps back to pass, looking for Tristan Reddy. He's got him. Tristan Reddy gets that ball, gets down, and another first down. If they can start stringing these together, they might have something coming here.
That was a great route ran by Tristan Reddy. He completely turned around the cornerback. It was Istvan Asibo-Daze, and did a great job turning him around, getting open for that play.
Barnes fakes the handoff. He's looking for Reddy again, but that was just behind him. There was 3 Windsor defensive backs in the area. Well, 2 defensive backs plus Trey Ranson in the area there. So that could have been dangerous had Tristan Reddy not tipped that down, and it tipped up instead.
Reddy's running into triple coverage, and he was still open. That play was there. If Barnes didn't throw that ball behind him, he was there, and he could have scored.
Kasim Ferdinand, Derek Yaboa, Frederick Hatchie, and Tristan Reddy in the receiver positions and that's Kasim Ferdinand. He's making his way to the end zone, brought down, touchdown. Kasim Ferdinand off the pass from Elijah Barnes. First touchdown pass of the game, and it's the Carleton Ravens who get it.
That's, again, we just talked about Ferdinand's got to get some open field and goes across the middle, breaks a tackle, and then just out-races 3 defenders to the end zone. So Ferdinand looks a little bit shaken up as he's coming off the field.
Yeah, he had to take a bit of a beating there to dive across the line. But nevertheless, another touchdown in the column for Kasim Ferdinand.
And Forcier, again, much more enjoyable to kick an extra point than a field goal.
So now 15-0 for the Carleton Ravens after their first touchdown of the game.
Kasim Ferdinand, just in case you want to geek out with the record book, he's 7th all-time for most touchdown receptions by a Raven. He's got 13, and he trails former Ottawa Rough Rider Gary Cook and Phil the Thrill Aloki, who both have 14. So he's working his way up and joining some rare company with their next score.
And Kasim Ferdinand, just a pure draft talent, you got to think, this year. He's definitely going to be highly scouted, I would imagine, one of the top receivers in the league. And that was another squib kick there, I believe.
Windsor's got to be careful on those squibs because there's 2 kicks in a row where that ball was live, not quite long enough for Carleton to come down and make a play on it. But again, that's a designed play. They've been practicing that this week. And again, give them position at the 30, 35-yard line rather than take the chance of having, again, two track stars running back.
Windsor Lancers offense taking the field. So the Lancers staying with Corson Roy into the quarterback position after that interception that resulted in that touchdown drive there for the Ravens. And Chris John has some room. The first rush of any significance there for the Lancers. So Chris John gets a first down off a good rush of about 11 or 12 yards.
Again, the offensive line opened a big hole there, and that's what we saw last week with this Windsor team against Queens. Chris John was running hard, a lot of carries between 8 and 15 yards.
So Nick Reyes to the bottom of your screen. Colby Ginn, the slot back to your bottom of the screen, left of the quarterback. And a handoff. This one's Waby Mumbau. He's got room, and he gets out just at the Ravens' 35-yard line. So it looks like Windsor's stringing together a little bit of a drive here.
Windsor with another zone run there, and they sealed Ife and Yeka to the inside, giving a lot of room for the Windsor running back to bounce outside.
So that's a great run there by Waby Mumbau.
Nick Reyes coming in, number 18 at wide receiver on the near side, is a former Ottawa Gigi who transferred to Windsor.
So 3 receivers to the left. Corson Roy looking towards Nick Reyes there. Almost had him, but Reyes slipped and wasn't able to complete that pass.
Yeah, but again, a lot of drop balls today, and that was one where, he's already down. He's got to make that play. It was kind of looked like a Kevin Pillar Blue Jays play from back in the day.
So Tristan Ronaldus, one of the leaders on this Carleton Ravens team, signaling for the fans to make some noise for the defense here. Corson Roy with a quick little flick pass there to Joey Zorn. Zorn had some room, but he's got a first down.
That was an absolutely perfectly executed screenplay. They let Ife and Yeka come in, and just at the very last minute, dumped the pass to where he came from, and he had 2 guards outside leading the way. This is the best, by far the best drive Windsor's had today.
Oh, 100%. This is 3 first downs that they've been able to convert here on this drive, and they've just entered the Robertson Electric red zone for the first time this afternoon. Ball on the 19-yard line, a handoff to Chris John. He's got room. He gets brought down at the 7-yard line, tackled by Chris Toupin. So another first down.
Again, the opening was a big one there. The Windsor offensive line opening big holes on that Carleton defensive line. And that's one of the halftime adjustments that they went in at halftime and took a look at what was happening.
First and goal now, the first time tonight for the Windsor Lancers. Roy looking end zone, got him in. He was looking for Evan Martin. Ottman Braum was there on the coverage. Not sure that Evan Martin ever had a chance to catch that ball.
He was open though, just overthrown by Roy, but he was wide open on that play action.
Roy, second and goal for the Windsor Lancers. He's got a timeout called by Windsor Lancers.
Yeah, they didn't like what they saw with Carleton's formation there, and they don't want to come out of there with 3 points. They want to get in the end zone.
And, yeah, quite frankly, they need to. It'll be one of the only positive things that have happened for them so far offensively. And they find themselves down 2 scores here. Well, 3 scores.
Well, let's see what they come back with. I would say they're going to probably run something, play action, and try to get the ball outside in the flats. Have the receivers clear out the area and have one of the slots or running backs kind of come in underneath.
So Javoni Cunningham, Colby Ginn, Evan Martin out as receivers. Corson Roy making his way to the huddle now. Joey Zorn and Chris John out on the field as well. Brett Jorgen out as a receiver, looking end zone towards Evan Martin, and a flag on the play. PI.
That's going to be offensive. That's going to be against Martin. He basically tackled the Carleton defender.
That's Tristan Hawksby, who was the Carleton defensive back in on that play. Is that confirmed there on the offensive PI?
Not yet. They're having a discussion about that play, which usually means a confirmation. They're calling it on the Ravens.
Yep.
That's not what I saw from up here, but.
So that'll bring the ball to the 1-yard line. And a first down for the Windsor Lancers.
So what they must have seen is that Carleton initiated that contact, but the Carleton defender was definitely tackled.
Very tough to say without replay, but yeah, there was definitely contact. I wasn't able to see who initiated it, but obviously the referees in agreement that that was a PI on the Ravens, and Corson Roy gets folded, but a touchdown nonetheless. Windsor Lancers on the board. Corson Roy keeps it for himself and gets a touchdown. Takes a hit for his efforts.
That was a really good second effort by Roy there because he took a pretty hard shot, was able to get the ball across the plane of the goal line before his knees hit. The nose of the football just has to touch the front of the goal line if it's a plane.
Brady Lidster will make good on that conversion. So going to be 15-7 now for the Carleton Ravens after a touchdown by quarterback Corson Roy, who came into the game for the Windsor Lancers to start the second half after a lackluster offensive performance by Danny Skelton.
Well, sometimes you just need to
change it up.
Give them a different look. They're two different quarterbacks the way they play.
And that was a really great drive there from the Windsor Lancers. They were able to get both their rush game and their passing game going and just strung together first down after first down to get down into the red zone. And then they had some help with a pass interference that put them on the 1 yard line there for that short touchdown by Corson Roy.
Yeah, it would good for Windsor to have a call go their way. Because again, the flag has been their biggest enemy so far in this game.
Definitely has. And a one-score game now here at Tag Park. And we will go to a quick commercial break and be right back on OUA TV. We're gonna have some time.
This is what girls do.
And we're back inside Tag Park. The kickoff is up in the air and fielded. That's Ethan Rocha, who is in to return that. And he gets brought down around the Ravens 24-yard line.
Watching Ethan Rocha run and watching Matt Moran run, they're almost carbon copies of each other. Rocha's almost a Matt Moran starter kit.
That was the first time we've seen Ethan Rocha make any plays today. Elijah Barnes, 2 receivers to the right, 2 to the left, and a handoff to Matt Moran. So a gain of 4 there on that play. It'll be 2nd and 6 at the Ravens' 28-yard line.
Windsor sealed that hole up pretty well. And that's the thing. They've got to get in and prevent Carleton getting to the next level.
Barnes looks like he's getting everything set or calling an audible. He's got 3 receivers down to the right, 1 receiver to the left. Hands off to Moraine. Moraine's got some room. Broke 1 tackle and then was eventually brought down by Ethan John.
He's about 2 yards short there, so they're going to well, he's 1 yard short, but they're bringing the punt team in. But again, they missed on a 3rd and 1 attempt with a sneak earlier. So
well, they're calling it 3rd and 2 here. Ball on the 33.
Yeah, if you look at the sticks, it's 3rd and 1, but a long one.
Chandra to boot this one away. Cunningham back to return. Wasn't able to keep it in though. Caught it and stepped out of bounds. So the Windsor offense will take the field at their own 35-yard line, it looks like.
Yeah,
Yes,
35.
ball was going to be on the 35. 1st and 10 for the Windsor Lancers.
Not a real good kick by Chandra, but very effective. You know, you want Cunningham to catch that ball right at the sideline. This is a big drive here for Carleton's defense and for Windsor's offense.
Especially coming off of a touchdown drive there for Windsor. They want to make something happen. Corson Roy. That pass was deflected by Isaiah Joseph. It was intended for Javoni Cunningham.
Yeah, they're setting that screen up again. Carleton did a good job reading it, and Joseph got in there and knocked the pass down and deflected it. Michael Lightbody coming out of the game.
That is
scored a touchdown last week.
He did. That was one of the plays of the week.
I did not have him on my fantasy team last week.
Such an ironic last name for Michael Lightbody.
Do you think he ever hears that?
Oh, I'm sure he hears that all the time.
Like hourly?
One of the biggest players, if not the biggest, on the Carleton roster is Michael Lightbody. As a pass to Javoni Cunningham is caught. And a first down there for the Windsor Lancers, Javoni Cunningham from Corson Roy.
What an incredible pass by Roy. He had a defender right in his face, and he kind of Patrick Mahomes did sidearm right into, threaded the needle on that one to Cunningham.
So a 13-yard gain there from Javoni Cunningham. Joey Zorn in the backfield. Jalen Miller on the field for the Windsor Lancers. Handoff to Joey Zorn. He's got room. Brought down eventually by Chris Toupin, but they haven't blown the whistle yet. Still forward motion, and wow, what a gain that was.
Yeah.
You just had so many bodies there from the Windsor Lancers just pushing him, and a lot of defenders in to try to bring him down, but they just kept going. And a big gain there, unorthodox, but a gain nonetheless. First down, Windsor.
Carleton had a hard time stopping the run against Guelph last week, and we're seeing Windsor just ram it right down their throat right now.
Joey Zorn made a big impact last week, and that play there could prove to be super impactful for the Windsor Lancers as well, but an injury timeout here. Not sure who is down for the Ravens.
It's Toupin.
And you hope that if that is Toupin down, sorry, I can't really see from here, a lot of Ravens crowded around him now, but you hope that he's okay, because that would be a big loss for the Ravens, as he is consistently their leading tackler.
But again, this is one of those things where you have to
yeah, next man up type of game.
Next man up. You've got to use your depth. Here he comes off. He looks in good shape.
So I imagine we'll see
so he'll be out.
Boxall step in.
He'll be out
in
at
his
least 3
position.
plays. Ethan Boxall's dad was a Carleton Raven quarterback back in the 1990s. Scott Boxall.
It's Justin Belanger that seems to have taken over for Chris Toupin.
Justin Belanger's dad was not a quarterback with the Ravens. Just to clarify that.
And a handoff to Waby Mumbau, and he gets dropped for a loss of 1. And that is Isaiah Joseph.
That was a huge play by Isaiah Joseph. He just cut through that like a knife through soft butter and got into the backfield. Really good job shooting the gap by him. Puts Windsor in a passing situation, but they've been getting 12 to 15 yards on the ground. So what if they run a draw play or maybe a screen here? We'll see here. I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to that screen.
Corson Roy has Waby Mumbau in the backfield. Javoni Cunningham in motion there. And Roy's got a scramble. He gets a pass out to Mumbau. And Mumbau gets brought down just short of a first down. We'll see where they mark it here. 22 seconds left to play in the third quarter.
He's going to be about 2 yards short on that play. again, it's where the ball was when his knees hit the ground, so the forward fall doesn't matter.
And you are correct. 3rd and 2. It looks like this clock on the third quarter will run out. They're going to bring in a heavy set.
Even though the clock runs out, they do run the play in Canada.
So going for it on 3rd and 2 for the Windsor Lancers. This is a big play call here. The risk is high, but the reward could be higher. A handoff to Mumbow, and he's not going the right direction. He gets brought down for a loss, and a turnover on downs. A big play for the Ravens. That's Jake Henderson in there to make that play, and he's having himself a night.
Jake Henderson. And again, you've got to credit half of the defense because everybody got a shot at Mumbow and froze him, but what a great finish by Henderson.
Waby Mumbow just had no room to work there on that play, and that ends the third quarter of action. We'll see you right back here on OUA TV for some more Carleton Ravens football. And welcome back inside Tag Park as we get set for the 4th and final quarter of action here between the Windsor Lancers and the Carleton Ravens. Ravens up 15-7 right now, and a huge turnover on downs there on 3rd and 2 by the Windsor Lancers. They went for it, trying to keep their drive alive, but Jake Henderson, who's had himself 2 interceptions and some big plays on defense tonight, said no, 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 and brought down Waby Mumbow for a loss and a turnover on downs. Now the Ravens offense taking the field once again. Elijah Barnes looking for Tristan Reddy. He's got him. He's short of a first down, a gain of 7 there. So it'll be 2nd and 3 for the Ravens. 2nd and 2 they call it. So a gain of 8 for Tristan Reddy on that quick pass from Elijah Barnes. Elijah Barnes had himself a pretty good game himself here tonight. A handoff to Matt Moray, who gets hammered.
He got nothing there, so it'll still be 3rd and 2. Ravens are sending the punting unit in.
That's Jason Rashatzi who got in to deliver a hit there. And Joey Chandra going to be coming in to boot this one away for the Ravens. Javoni Cunningham back to return. Chandra, punt is off. Not very long. It does go out of bounds around the 30-yard line. I believe they'll be marking it at the for the Lancers after a few drives ago had a touchdown, and the last drive there had a turnover on downs. So Roy, Ravens have 7 in the box. Linebackers drop into coverage. This one gets aired out. Incomplete. It was intended for Colby Ginn. L. James Igamudu had him locked down. Ginn wasn't able to make a play for that ball. And it'll be 2nd and 10.
Nathan Clark got in there on the rush, and he hit Roy pretty hard on that play, and caused the ball to be underthrown a little bit. Through 3 quarters, Carleton has 308 yards offense to Windsor's 179. Carleton has 201 yards passing to Windsor's 98.
And Elijah Barnes has done a really good job today of stringing together some good drives and moving the ball through the air. Pass from Roy, intended for Joey Zorn, and he takes the hit from Schneider Cave.
Schneider Cave hits. I know I said he's a big hitter, but I refereed a lot of his games in high school when he was at St. Joseph. I actually kicked him out of a game once for a really hard hit. That was a little bit kind of questionable, but that guy's a tremendous athlete, and man, he's a physical presence for the Ravens.
James Parker to send this one away for the Lancers.
He's wearing gym shorts. Like, what's that all about?
I didn't even notice that. Ottman Brom fields the punt. And so 5-yard return there from Ottman Brom. Not much giving.
Just saying, back in the day, if I was punting and I came out with gym shorts on, I would be leaving the field in an ambulance.
And why is that?
Well, you're inviting guys. Well, first of all, you have to, by rules, have knee pads on and hip pads. But if I tried to do a hot dog move like that, I would have got absolutely freight trained by the defense. Somebody's going to. So you're putting a target on your back. But we live in a different time now. But it was a good punt, though.
Barnes drops back to pass. Robert Springer had the play there on Tristan Reddy, knocked that pass down.
Springer was the Jake Henderson of last week for Windsor. Springer transferred up here from Moorhead State College in Kentucky, and Moorhead State has a very. I was there once, and Moorhead State has an incredibly unusual history. I'll get into it after this play.
So 2nd and 10, ball on the Carleton 38. 3 receivers to the right. Tristan Reddy with the catch, but not able to make much of it. Tackled by multiple Windsor players there.
Again, you got 10 yards to go, and you're running that little hitch pass, and you know, big play. So anyway, Moorhead State, the school was actually founded as a result of a feud between 2 families that resulted in gambling, 20 people being shot, and it's just the most crazy story in the world.
Hold on. So 2 families feuded, and that's why Moorhead State became a school?
Eventually, yeah.
Wow.
So what happened was one of the guys in the feud was a town clerk, and he was gambling and he was stealing money, and it was a good old-fashioned 2 families, you know, like the Hat Rocks and the McCoys from the Flintstones, and so what ended up happening was the state of Kentucky was so embarrassed, and it's called the Rowan County War if you want to look it up on Wikipedia, because Rowan County is the county that Moorhead State is in, and if you want to look it up, that's what happened. And the state was so embarrassed that they wanted to open a university there that was an institute of higher learning. And that's how Moorhead State became a school.
And dare I ask how you went down this rabbit hole to find out this information?
I was there when I worked for ESPN.com. I had to travel around in different places, and that's
Roy hands the ball off. That's Chris John. He gets brought down after a short gain. It's a gain of 3 or 4 on that play.
You never get good stories when you go to like UCLA or Ohio State, but if you go to a little school like Moorhead State, there's always
history.
There's always some some Easter egg tucked within the secrets of the school.
So just over 10 minutes left to go in this game. Ravens up by 8, and a pass there caught. It's Daniel Hector who made that reception.
Turf Monster made a big play there to save a big gain.
For sure.
Have you noticed, looking at the roster here, Tristan, have you noticed that almost every receiver is taking human kinetics at Windsor.
I have not.
When I was
but
looking at
do
the roster
notice that
before the
now.
game, it was like, my goodness, every single receiver takes human kinetics except for maybe one. That must be a great program at that school. What would be the alternative to human kinetics? Do they have like alien kinetics, or?
If they do offer that as a
I
class.
dissected a frog in science class in grade 10. Maybe they have frog kinetics or amphibian kinetics.
So 3rd and 2 here for the Lancers. They're going to punt this one away, but
they're missing a guy, so
a whistle blown on the field there.
The punter forgot to come on the field. He's adjusting his gym shorts.
And now James Parker makes his way onto the field. And you're right, he is wearing, he's not got any type of padding on. Unless he just has, maybe it's rolled up. They do look tight.
I think he just came from spin class, it looks like, and ran onto the field.
So Nash McDonald going to be back to return this punt here, but it's Ottman Brom who gets it. And flag on the play, 2 flags out on the play. Brom gets sent down to the turf by Ethan John. Sean Adams in there on the tackle as well.
Either 2 officials caught the illegal block or one has no yards. That's the problem with special teams that drives coaches nuts. The most frequent play that there's an infraction on is a punt return, and it's because the players are running down beside the defenders, and as soon as the defenders break down, it's a close call, but you're going to block the guy in the back. You got to stay away from it. You got to use your feet and get in position before you try to make a play like that. So yeah, it's an illegal block on Ravens and no yards on Windsor. So it'll go back 5 yards. It's a 5-yard no yards and a 10-yard illegal block. The real dangerous play on that is when it's an illegal block when the ball is in the air. The penalty is applied from where the return man catches the ball. So if he catches it at the 35 and there's a penalty, he makes it to the 50, it comes all the way back to the 25.
So the Ravens offense is going to take the field here. Ball on their own 40-yard line. Barnes, a handoff to Moret, and he gets brought down after a short game of looks like 3 yards he got there for Matt Moret, and that'll make it 2nd and 7.
That was a good run, but a good hole, but a slow developing play. And you just wish sometimes the quarterback was under center so that play could hit a little quicker. You just don't see that anymore, though. Denver Broncos ran under center in preseason last week.
Now Barnes with 3 receivers to the right at the top of your screen, 2 receivers left, but handoff, a nice fake. Here's Matt Moret with a first down, and he gets across center field.
That's a beautifully executed draw play. Absolutely, and you just don't see that enough, but a perfect call at the perfect time and beautifully executed.
So Matt Moret getting as much as he could out of that play. A great run.
Windsor was coming in on a blitz, and they came in very aggressively, and Barnes took his time, made a perfect handoff.
Barnes now with 3 receivers to the left. He's going towards Ferdinand. Ferdinand looking for room, and he gets brought down. A big hit there made by Jason Rashotzi. And Ethan John also in on the tackle.
Picked up 7 there, so let's see what the Ravens do on 2nd and 3. I don't think they're going to run the ball here. I think they need to get it to the flats and to the outside, because Windsor's just been too strong against the run on the inside.
Barnes with 3 receivers to the strong side of the field, looking towards Derek Yaboa, and he drops it. That's just one that you've got to keep.
Yaboa had a drop last week, and he's got 2 big ones today. But again, that was perfectly set up. You know, he's in the flats. He had all kinds of room.
Yeah, they did exactly what you thought that they were going to do, but just couldn't convert. And you're right, that's Yeboah's second big drop of the day, and he's going to be kicking himself over that one. On the sidelines here, you see Barnes and Tristan Reddy going to tap him on the head and say it happens. But one of those ones he definitely wants back. Javoni Cunningham gets brought down by Aiden Arnott-Smith.
A good punt by Chandra on that play. Again, you've got to neutralize Cunningham, seal him in right near the sideline, and it's so much easier for the return. They contain him in, and he's got nowhere to go.
The Windsor offense taking the field again. Corson Roy, see if he can string together a drive here, a much needed drive for the Windsor Lancers. 7.5 minutes left to go. Down by 8 are the Lancers, and a handoff to Joey Zorn. Joey Zorn's got room. He broke one tackle and looks like he's going to have a first down. Could just be short.
Evan Martin got away with a big block in the back just before that tackle there that sprung for a couple more yards, but
and just shy of a first down there. And there is a Windsor Lancer down on the field. That's Benjamin McJanet.
Guess what? He's a human kinetics major.
And a tight end, so.
Exactly.
Yep.
I like the fact that Windsor uses a tight end, because you see so many teams run double slots or six packs, and for them to use a tight end, it really helps the run game.
They haven't utilized it too much tonight, though.
When they do, though, it creates matchup problems for the defense with the Sam and the Will. Especially if they have especially if they run the tight end on the short side, it really creates matchup issues.
So 2nd and 1 for the Lancers. Ball's on their own 27-yard line. 7 minutes to go in this game.
Yeah, they're sneaking it, so he's going to line up under center.
And Roy, not sure if he got that one. Looks like that's going to be a 3rd down for the Lancers. And they might have to boot this one away unless they decide to go for it again on 3rd down. But that would be very dangerous given their current field position. But we'll see what the ruling is here. And they call it a 1st down. So forget everything I just said. They're going to move the sticks. Didn't look from here like he got it.
Well, the funny thing is instead of just going up the gut, he ran to the left.
He
tried
did.
to look for a hole. And if anybody shoots the gap on that, you're going to lose yards. So he's got to go right up the gut on that play. And it looks like his center's a big boy and an earth mover.
That's Joe Fillion, his center. He drops back to pass. He's looking for Colby Ginn. He's got him! Colby Ginn brings it down inside the Ravens' 50-yard line. Big play there by the Lancers.
Colby Ginn did a really good job getting open on that corner route, and perfect pass by Roy.
Yeah, just
Roy's been impressive. He's had a great half and a great game.
He has.
Coming into the game, nobody really knew much about him, but he's looking fantastic.
And Colby Ginn there, yeah, just back to that route by Ginn. Excellent release, freeing himself up for that pass. Really well done, and a handoff to Joey Zorn. Zorn just absolutely barreling his way down the middle for a 1st down.
Carleton had a shot at Zorn in the backfield, and Zorn just a little sidestep and evaded the tackler, broke a couple more tackles. He's a good running back.
So 1st and 10, 4 minutes and 45 seconds left to go here. 1st and 10 on the Ravens 37. Cole Begin looking to make his second touchdown. Sorry, Corson Roy looking to make his second touchdown drive of the game. He's looking end zone or towards it, and that's Jalen Miller. And that's a great completion.
What a great ball fake by Roy on that play.
Unbelievable. So right next, they're knocking on the doorstep here of the Carleton Ravens end zone after just a great pass. I thought that was going end zone, but Miller wasn't quite there yet. But nonetheless, what a pass, what a catch. And he did a great job getting out of bounds.
And again, running that corner out again. Chris John is back in the backfield. He's just going to pound it in.
Here inside the Robertson Electric red zone. Carson Roy, the handoff, and touchdown. Windsor Lancers with another touchdown, and I didn't see who brought that one in either. That's going to be Chris John. So touchdown Windsor Lancers, and Chris John has a touchdown on the night.
See, I already called it for you before the play. You didn't even have to.
True, you did.
You know.
You did say he was going to just pound it in there, and that's exactly what he did.
Zorn, by the way, from Flint, Michigan. The town was also founded on a feud. No, I'm just kidding. It wasn't. Just see if you're paying attention. Okay, they're going for 2 here.
And you knew that they would.
Yeah.
Down by 2, a chance to tie this game. You got to think that they'd be going for 2. We'll see what they have drawn up here. 2 receivers.
See, they've got the tight end on the short side.
To the right, they
again.
do have the tight end on the short side. You're right. Cole Begin looking. And he's got Cole Begin. Wow. What a play. Cole Begin brings that pass in, takes the hit, and they tie the game up. 4 minutes left to go. Tie game here at Tag Park after a great conversion there by Corson Roy and Cole Begin.
Cole Begin, what a great catch, because he got absolutely rocked by Schneider Cave on that play, and he was able to hang on when he went down.
And don't forget, it was because Cole Begin that they ended up in this position. He had a great release to really get them into striking zone down here. And now he gets the benefit of that conversion. And we will be right back after a short break. We'll see you on OUA TV shortly.
This is what girls do. 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 This is what girls do.
And welcome back to Tag Park in the nation's capital of Ottawa, Ontario. And if you're just tuning in, you just missed a great touchdown drive there by the Windsor Lancers and a 2-point conversion to tie this game up at 15. So 4 minutes left to go. Carleton Ravens offense going to be taking the field here after this return. And that's Nash McDonald making some room for himself. Broke 2 tackles but gets brought down inside the Ravens' 25-yard line. So Elijah Barnes and the Ravens offense going to be taking the field once again here. Now they have to make something happen after that Windsor Lancers drive.
Put on my special teams coach hat for a minute. And Nash McDonald, good, like 2 times in a row now on kickoffs. He's come up to the pile and stopped. He's got to keep moving. You know, cut it out, bounce it out to the side. See if you can create a seam.
Barnes with 3 receivers to the left, 2 to the right. Barnes looking towards Frederick Hatchie. That one was just missed thrown. So an incomplete pass there intended for Hatchie, and there was no reason for that not to be caught other than just a bad pass.
Barnes also an exceptional basketball player in high school, and he's a huge Green Bay Packers fan. I'll tell you more about this after the play.
If that's the case, then I don't know how I really feel about about Elijah Barnes. As a Vikings fan myself, not going to be a good year for us. Barnes, receivers in motion, 3 to the left. He's going to keep it for himself, and he makes a spin move. He's got some space, and Barnes gets tackled down. Looked like he was going to get loose, but he wasn't able to get loose at all, and a 3 and out here for the Ravens after that bad pass on 1st and 10 and a blown up play there.
So Barnes is watching many years ago the Green Bay-Seattle NFC playoff game, and Seattle won the game, and he cried his eyes out for about a day, and that's when he decided, you know what, I think I care more about football than anything.
Ball's up, and Javoni Cunningham gonna field this one. He gets brought down just short of center field, so it'll be at the Windsor 54-yard line, it looks.
Zendra O'Dane Altidore, big play on that. Looked like Cunningham had some room. And Andrew Altidore, O'Dane Altidore made a great tackle.
So ball fielded at the 53-yard line.
Great position to start this drive for Windsor.
Excellent position, and we noted at half that their field position throughout the first half was just poor, and now it's gotten a little bit better. They've had some chances here to make their way up the field and start in better position. One of those, a big hit there laid out by Xavier Malone. Joey Zorn got lit up.
That defense has been waiting for a shot at him like that, because Zorn has been just breaking tackles through the middle all day, or at least all half anyway.
That's what he does. He's a big, powerful back. And now 2nd and 8 for the Lancers after that short gain by Joey Zorn. A big play by Xavier Malone. Ball on the 55-yard line, right at center field. Receivers in motion, another handoff. It's going to be Joey Zorn again. He gets brought down now at the Ravens 50-yard line, but he's going to be short of a first down. We'll see what they do here.
Carl Von Einsiedel on that play. We haven't said his name yet today.
Von Einsiedel, the long snapper as well as linebacker for the Ravens, comes in and makes his presence known. So they're going to punt this one away.
Now, Carleton has got to not get an illegal block penalty on this return.
Hope you don't jinx it, Jeff.
Well, they just got to be aware of it.
The ball's up, head towards Ottman Brom, and he doesn't make the catch. He dropped it, and now not going to be in good field position here for the Ravens. They are hemmed at their own 5-yard line with 1:50 left to go.
Parker hit a line drive there. He was going for the single point in this tie game.
So 1:50 left to go.
8 with 26.
Elijah Barnes. Terrible field position for the Ravens to start this drive. A pass out to Frederick Hatchie. He's caught, but a short gain. 4 yards on that reception there.
Again, they're trying to get the ball outside the hash marks on this Windsor defense.
So they give him 5 on that reception. It'll be 2nd and 5. Barnes, 2 receivers left, 2 to the right. Moray coming to the outside. Kasim Ferdinand in the slot back position there. And that just, no one was ready for that. I don't know if that was a miscommunication, but he was looking towards Hatchie and Ronaldus. And neither of them were looking back towards the ball, and that is a big mistake there for that Ravens offense.
Yeah, these guys were all running go routes, and somebody was supposed to cut back and come back to the quarterback. It would have been wide open, but again, a miscommunication. Costly, too. Chandra's going to be kicking from his own end zone here.
So Chandra boots this one away. Cunningham, he's got it at the 52-yard line, and he gets brought down inside the Ravens' 45-yard line. So he'll be down, I believe, at the 44.
So Windsor basically just needs 1 first down, and they're in scoring position, and then they can just use the clock.
A big defensive set coming up here for the Ravens. Corson Roy getting his offense set up. The play's in.
If Jake Henderson's ever going to get his name in the record book, now's the time to do it. He's playing on the field side corner here.
So Chris John in the backfield for the Lancers, but going to be some conversations happening with the officials.
They're resetting the clock to 1:15 rather than 1:10. And the ball will start, clock will start on the snap here with the change of possession. So lots of time left.
So 1:15 left to go. 1st and 10. Lancers hand off to Chris John, and he comes barreling down the middle once again. Bunch of Ravens in on that tackle.
Chris Tupan was the player that initiated the tackle, once again getting in there.
Justin Belanger as well was in on that tackle. He's going to make his way off the field now. Carl Von Einseidel coming onto the field for him.
Even if they don't give up a first down here, or don't get a first down, these are big yards because it will get them in better field position for a field goal.
2nd and 5, ball on the 44. Roy, quick pass, and that one picked off! Zendro de Altador. My apologies, that's Megawatt Niyiragoiro. What an interception there by Megawatt. And what a last name he has, oh my goodness. But a huge play there by the Ravens defense.
Megawatt is definitely the coolest name in OUA history.
Oh, 100%. So Megawatt Niyiragoiro with an amazing interception there and putting the Ravens offense back on the field. Giving Elijah Barnes another chance here. 48 seconds left to go. And the rush here going to happen. Matt Moray doesn't get much of that one, maybe a yard or 2.
Yeah, looks like they're giving him 2 on that play, but.
So it'll be 2nd and 8.
Windsor does have 1 timeout left if they can to stop the clock. If Carleton doesn't get a first down here, we'll look for Windsor to use their timeout, unless it's an incomplete pass.
So ball on the 30-yard line. Barnes has Yaboya, McDonald, and a handoff to Moray, and he gets brought down. Looks like he could have lost yards. So that is going to be a loss. And Matt Moray gets brought down in the backfield. And is that what you saw coming from
Yeah,
that, from
absolutely.
that play?
And Windsor has a Windsor just used their timeout, so now the clock doesn't start until the snap of the ball. Windsor's going to get the ball probably somewhere around their own 50-yard line, and they've got they're going to have about 20 seconds.
And
probably 2 or 3 plays before they try a field goal. So Windsor's in good shape here.
In the event of a tie, let everyone know at home what happens in that situation.
If it's
what
a
the
tie
overtime
game,
rules
if
are.
it's a tie game, the overtime rule is each team gets a possession from the 35-yard line, and if they score, I believe they have to do a 2-point conversion. And they just, I'm not sure in OUA now if after 2 possessions they call it a tie or whether they keep going. But I think it's after 2 they call it a tie.
I believe so, because you can end up with a tie on your record. Chandra to boot this one away. 25 seconds left to go. Javoni Cunningham. Will he go for gold here? He makes his way out to the left side of the field. He's up. And he had one more defender to beat there. He gets pushed out of bounds by Chandra himself.
Again, that's a low punt right down the middle of the field. You can't do that with Cunningham.
So the Ravens defense taking the field here. We'll see. Looks like there was a flag on the play. There is a flag on the field, and that's going to go against Windsor.
And again, even though the infraction happened upfield, the ball was at the 50 of Windsor when the infraction occurred. So the ball's going to go back to the 40. So that's a huge penalty against the Lancers.
And that's been one of the stories for the Lancers here today is just undisciplined penalties, and it's really hurt them.
And the thing is that if you're a player and you're in a return situation and you're going to think you're going to get away with it, there's 8 officials on the field and they're all not watching the ball. They're all looking to see what's going on. So you haven't got a hope of getting away with something.
Corson Roy under center. Chris John in the backfield. He's going to be looking out to the air. Oh, that could have been dangerous. Carvon Einzeidel was getting down to make a play on that ball. Pass was intended for Colby Ginn.
That's a play where Roy should have probably just thrown it into the Carleton trainer's tent or maybe up into the 3rd row. You take a chance throwing one into the ground with Carleton's linebacker coming up. You're taking a big risk.
For sure. So 2nd and 10, ball on the Windsor 40.
So they'll probably have this play plus one more.
10 seconds to go.
So watch Carleton drop 2 or 3, even 4 players back.
And hand it off to Chris John. He's got some running room, a hurdle, and he gets brought down across center field at the Ravens 49.
A 22-yard gain, and that's the last thing Carleton wanted to give up. So you got 1 play left. Are you going to try a 55-yard field goal? Looks like they are.
And this just brings back memories of the Panda game last year
for
the Ravens.
Does it ever?
And that one ended on a long field goal made by the GGs to seal the game with no time left on the clock. And that was actually when all the Ravens fans had, stormed the field prior to that happening.
Yeah. Campbell Fair, what an incredible kick.
Campbell Fair, you're correct. And a 55-yard field goal attempt with the game on the line here.
Carleton calling a timeout to ice the kicker. And I think I told you this last year, but that never works. I never missed a field goal after being iced. In fact, I wanted them to do it.
Now, I'm not sure what Brady Lidster's longest field goal is, but this has got to be up there in terms of his range.
Well, yeah, and again, it's not, don't look at what his longest in his career is. Look at what he does in pregame. 55 is within his range. He can hit this. It's just you ever get an opportunity to do this.
And a huge moment here for the Lancers and Brady Lidster. And we'll see.
Yeah, the other
Braum.
thing too is a missed kick. You got to get it out of the end zone.
Exactly. So Ottman Braum is back there, and
he's standing at the goal line, but he's got to get.
The kick is up. It looks like it's going to be short. Oh my goodness, it goes! Brady Lidster!
Holy
Are
cow.
you kidding me?
What
Knocks
a kick.
it from 55 yards to win the game. Oh my goodness, Brady Lidster, a 55-yard field goal for the game. And this is unbelievable. It's just like the Panda game last season. Heartbreaking for the Ravens after a really well-played game. Here on home field, they go down 0-2 to start the season, and heading into Western next week. That could be an 0-3 start to this season, and that's not ideal for this Carleton Ravens team. What a play there made by Brady Lidster to win this game for the Windsor Lancers, and I'm still in disbelief.
Well, again, go back a play to Zorn's 22-yard run. That set this whole thing up, and what a comeback by Windsor. I mean, they're down 15-0, and they don't look like they have a shot, and then Carson Roy and Zorn, they just brought this team back to life.
And just mistakes.
What a comeback.
Mistakes made on offense there by the Ravens in the fourth quarter, in those really crucial moments that led to this opportunity for the Lancers. Some errant passes and just different miscommunications happening there for the Ravens that really led to this. And now they find themselves with a loss. 18-15, a big play by Brady Lidster to win the game for the Windsor Lancers. And I think the story of this one for the Lancers is Carson Roy, who comes in at halftime after a bad first half for Danny Skelton. And he really brought them to victory here.
He brought them to life. He moved the football. They started getting first downs. They started moving the ball down the field. He just energized this team. And what a great comeback by them. And again, I'll go back to what I said before the kick. Icing the kicker never works. You're giving him more time to focus, more time to go through it, a couple more reps in your head. I'd run back to the net and kick a couple. And Brady Lidster, what a fantastic opportunity for him, and he made the most of it.
So this one ends in a Windsor Lancers W. They go 2-0 to start the season, and we thank you for tuning in here on OUA TV. I'm Tristan Ford, Jeff Morris, and we'll see you next time for Carleton Ravens.